The shadow of Aduke's resilience. Curse tightens. The morning after the terrifying encounter, some elders convened in secrets, debating whether Jide and Shifa's action have angered the spirits further. Others believed the two were destined to lift the curse, their courage a sign of hope. The moon hung low over the village of Irele, casting ghastly shadow on the quiet streets. In the stillness of the night, Jide sat outside Aduke's compound, staring into the long distance. His mind was a storm of questions and doubts, and sleep eluded him. The burden of uncovering his family's cursed legacy weighed heavily on his chest. When Jide finally drifted into a restless sleep, the nightmare returned. He was back in the forest, surrounded by shadowy figures. This time, the shadows whispered his name, their voices overlapping in a haunting symphony. He turned to run, but his feet were rooted to the ground. From the darkness emerged a woman with piercing eyes, Hanatu, Shifa's mother. She stretched out her hand, her voice laced with sorrow and desperation.
Free me, Jide. The truth is your key.
Jide jolted awake, his heart racing. He sat upright, the cool night air doing little to calm his nerves. The whispers from the dream still echoed in his ears. At dawn, Jide and Shifa stood before the shrine once again. The priestess emerged slowly, her white robe flowing like a mist. Her blind eyes seemed to pierce through their very souls.
You have seen the truth. The Spirit speaks to you now because time is running out. If you do not act fast, the curse will not just consume your bloodline, but this entire village.
Mentioned for them to sit, she began by sprinkling a mixture of herbs into a bowl of water, chanting softly. Then the water shimmered, and an image began to form a forest shrouded in mist, an ancient altar, with a figure of Mr. Debo kneeling before it, speaking to an unseen presence. This is where the pact was made, the priestess said. He traded the innocence of blood for power and wealth. The spirit demands retribution. You must return to the altar and summon the spirits. Only the truth will set you free. Determined to confront the source of the curse, Jide and Shifa ventured into the forest. The deeper they went, the more oppressive the atmosphere became. Every step felt heavier, and the air was thick with the scent of decay. Suddenly, they heard rustling in the bush. Jide grabbed a stick, ready to defend themselves. From the shadow emerged a man recognized, Kolapo, the village hunter.
Una no suppose dey here. This forest dey kill people well. But if una wan continue this waka, take this thing.
He handed Jide a small native charm of protection, made of woven twigs and beads. With Kolapo's warning echoing in their minds, they pressed on.
E go protect una to an extent, but the spirit for this forest no dey laugh at all. Make una go carefully.
The ancient altar loomed ahead, bathed in an unnatural glow. As they approached, the air grew colder, and a deep growl resonates from the shadow. Suddenly, figures began to materialize. Shadowy creatures with glowing red eyes, their form flickering like fire. Shifa clutched Jide's arm, fear etched on her face. What are they? They are the spirits bound by the pact, a voice boomed. It was Hanatu's spectre.
They won't let you pass without a sacrifice.
One of the creatures launched towards Shifa, but the charm of protection glowed brightly, repelling it. Jide stepped forward, raising the charm of protection high.
We have come to the end of this.
He shouted.
The truth will be revealed, and the
Curse
curse
will
will
end.
end.
The creatures recoiled, their forms dissolved into smoke. The altar began to pulse with light. In the midst of this action began a heavy rain falling around them, accompanied with thunder and lightning. And then a deep voice emerged from the stone itself. Speak the truth and let it be heard. Jide then placed his hands on the altar, and images flooded his mind. He saw Mr. Debo, his father, kneeling before the altar, begging for power and wealth. The spirits demanded a sacrifice, and in his desperation, he offered the innocence of his daughter, Hanatu. Tears streamed down Jide's face as he withdrew his hand. Shifa stepped forward, her own fury and sorrow boiling over.
We will break this curse. Your sin will no longer be poison to this land.
The spirits roared in agreement, their forms swirling around the altar. The ground shook, and the glowing light intensified, casting the forest in an early glow. As the altar's energy reached its peak, the spirits began to dissipate, their forms ascending into the sky, but the ground beneath Jide and Shifa began to crack, and a deafening roar filled the air. Run, Jide shouted, grabbing Shifa's hand. They sprinted through the forest as trees toppled around them, and the earth split open in their wake. They emerged from the forest just as dawn broke, collapsing on the grass, breathless but alive. The altar was gone, but the curse was not yet broken. The priestess awaits them at the edge of the forest, her expression grave.
You have awakened the truth. But the final reckoning lies ahead. The one who sealed the path must face the spirit himself.
Jide and Shifa exchanged a determined look. The time had come to confront Mr. Dibble.